Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Gargadash. Double lines to the apostles of GMS. Is sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity. What I have here is a 4-minute clip, which I might even just play half of that. Basically going into the Taliban turns insurgents into commandos as it builds fully capable army. Now, with everything that's going on, there's a list of things going on, and I like going into these prophecies, even going into war, because that is one of the main end goals, especially when the MOTB comes out, that the Lord is going to destroy all these kingdoms. And Esau is just gearing up every kingdom because he's making a profit off of it. And as you would notice that he will fund, well, if you go into the research on it, that he will fund one side of the war and fund the other side of the war. And it'll just be a constant motion of conflict. Now, with people, and people definitely remember when the president of the U.S., Biden, has brought or retreated from that from the place. They left a whole bunch of not just equipment, but they left a whole bunch of people too. And people was popping up all over that area saying that, hey, the U.S. the military done left us. I didn't even know there was a lot of people over there, but it was video after video that these people are hiding, that it was left behind. It was telling how much of the cargo or the equipment, not just gear, but vehicles, their planes. And I did a video on it, how the Taliban was actually just uncovering a whole bunch of stuff they left behind. So this was a tactic to gear these guys up to be a actual army. So what? So they could fund them. It's all war tactics with all of this. So they need each and every individual that they can make money off of to be in that fight. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip for a little bit.
Riding atop U.S.-built military vehicles, Taliban fighters showcased the spoils of war during a January parade through the Afghan city of Khost. Armored personnel carriers and Humvees were just part of the arsenal that the Taliban seized from U.S.-backed Afghan government forces amid the militants' takeover of Afghanistan in August. Now, the newly equipped Taliban wants to turn its insurgent forces into a modern standing army. Wearing elite combat gear, 150 Taliban commandos took part in a graduation ceremony on January 12th after finishing a 3-month training program.
چې اوس د هر راز پیچلو جګړهیزو عملیاتو د اجرا او د هر تهدید په مهارولو کې پوره مهارت او وړتیا لرو. موږ د خپل دین وطن او مسلمان ولس قسم خوړلي دښمنان هغه که په هر نامه او په هر جامه کې وي د ختمولو لپاره یې په ډېر جرأت او مېړانه اقدام کوو.
But is the Taliban capable of operating and maintaining modern military equipment?
We trained a lot of mechanics for those vehicles before we left. So I expect that they'll be able to keep those things running for quite some time.
Security expert Jonathan Schroden is with the U.S.-based Center for Naval Analyses, CNA.
I think they could establish a conventional-looking army in relatively short order. Whether that army could actually fight as a conventional style army as opposed to fighting like guerrillas as they have for so long, that's, I think, the biggest transformation that they'll have to make.
It's not clear how much use the Taliban will be able to get out of the U.S.-made Black Hawk attack helicopters and the more sophisticated aircraft that fell into its hands. But Taliban pilots have been able to keep Russian-made Mi-17 helicopters in the air, says Schroden.
The U.S. trained quite a few mechanics for those as well, so they probably have either cajoled or coerced some amount of those individuals to continue to work on these. And they could get help from any number of Eastern European countries to get spare parts and potentially contract maintainers for those as well. So I expect they'll be able to fly the Mi-17s for quite some time.
Forming a conventional military is also part of the Taliban's effort to gain international influence and, according to its leaders, foster domestic unity.
So there you have it. They geared them up. They even know how to use the damn shit. Then now they're saying even the Taliban's are trying to not only take back their region and take down anybody that opposes them, but they're going to try to do the same thing eventually, like Russia was or China trying to do, which was, I think, there was an article about them trying to do that. It wasn't mentioned in this video, unless it was mentioned later on, if I can remember correctly. But they're going to start pulling the same moves as China eventually. And guess what? They're going to get funded. As they mentioned, they can get spare parts just from the EU. So that definitely tells you something. This is Matthew 12:26. And it says, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And the reason I'm going to get that scripture is because basically every kingdom on this planet is under Esau's name. How? Because he has a hand in literally anything he does. He can go into any country, leave troops there, and say he could do something. He could fund any war. If you could fund any war that you want if you could fund both sides of the war, that means that's your kingdoms. If you can set up a system called NATO where everybody has to be under one union, and you get to say that, oh, this country is in punishment mode, or you got to punish this kingdom, but no one can punish you. That tells you that this kingdom, every kingdom on this planet is his. So it's no wonder why he believes he can play God, when in reality he can't. He can't do the spiritual things of what Lord YAHAWAHSHI'S can do, but he's trying to. But then when as I reread it again, it says, how shall then his kingdom stand? And Esau's not trying to make any of his kingdom stand. Except for probably this place. But with what he's doing, it's going to cause a whole collapse on a lot of things. He's planning on collapsing this place, so he's not trying to make his kingdom stand. But then that's the whole point of the NWO. So you get everybody into one kingdom, to where him alone can stand. But that's why the Lord said that he's going to come back and to destroy this place. That's Malachi 1:4, where he says where Esau should build, but the Lord would throw down. So Esau could try to do what he's doing now. This is only temporary. The Lord's just letting him have his fun until he comes back and swipe that power back from him. Not just swipe the power back from him, but swipe he's going to swipe the hopeful elect from Esau's clutches, and he's going to destroy the pride of Esau, which would be this place or any place that he thinks he has reign in. Esau's destruction is sure enough. It will come. So he can keep harming who he wants. It's just this is all through the script. This is all scripted through the Lord. And ultimately, as the Lord puts the spirit on Esau to show these movies, showing that the good guy's going to win, it's damn right. The Lord's a good guy. He's going to win. So that's all I have going to that. So with that, shalom.